Okay, folks, welcome to the Preconstruction podcast, live in Phoenix, Arizona. We are, of course, at the Advancing Preconstruction Conference here in Arizona. First guest, Kurt Naser, Director of Preconstruction at PC Construction. Welcome.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, Gareth. This is great.
Cool.
This is an awesome conference, and it's good to meet you.
So Kurt was catching up with the ReArc guys, who we watched present yesterday. So how did they do?
They did great. I mean, they got some good technology they use with their proposals, and it's some good next level thinking. So I like it.
Yeah, we had them on the podcast. They went through kind of a post presentation and they went through it, but they killed it. Yeah. If you haven't listened to that episode of the podcast, get back. We did it about 4 or 5 weeks ago. So talk to us, Kurt. Obviously, I had a look at your background, PC.
Right.
Mechanical engineer by trade. Yes. Talk me through the process of in college and thinking mechanical.
Right. So I went to school at Clarkson University in upstate New York. I was a mechanical engineer. It was something that I just got into. I liked it, and then after college, I worked for another company for a couple years, actually traveling around the country building wind farms. Oh, nice. So I did that for a number of years. Worked in 10 states and parts of Canada. Brilliant. So it was a cool experience. And then after that, I found my way to PC, and I got hired on as a project engineer. And I've been with PC now for 12 years. Brilliant. And things are great.
Good. I like the way he came from the dark side, folks. So project engineer, project manager, and then went to senior estimator. Talk to me about that transition.
That's right. And so I was in operations for probably about 6 or 7 years, worked my way up on the operations side, project engineer, senior project engineer, PM for a number of years, number of projects. And then at that point, I made the move. My wife and I were having kids at the time, and it was a great opportunity and really great on the company to be able to let me move from the operations side to the estimating side. And there's a ton of value there because you're pulling all that field experience, all the stuff you see on the day-to-day level, the submittals, the RFIs, the working with the subcontractors, and really bringing that onto the estimating side.
Brilliant. Yeah. I mean, to me, we talk about it in the podcast all the time. To me, people have got to start thinking, companies have got to start thinking and getting operations guys into pre-construction. But not only that, their skill sets. We all know the operations guys, we've talked to them. If they are really good communicators, I don't want to say they're wasted on the operations side, but how good would they be with that technical expertise, their ability to communicate, build relationships, bringing them into the pre-construction side? I mean, it's invaluable. We've heard it all week here, people talking about building relationships and communication. And how did you obviously understood construction really well with a mechanical degree, but what was the transition like getting into estimates and looking at plans, 2D plans, and going, where do I even start?
Right. So it's a different approach, certainly. You know, on the operations side, you have months to get in and really understand the project, the drawings, get into the detail. On the estimating side, it's like, hey, we got a bid due in 3 weeks. We got to get in, we got to take it off, we got to price it up, and then produce, a bid or an estimate that we're delivering to the owner. So it's a lot faster. You're looking at 20 projects in a year or more compared to one project on the operations side. So it's a cool transition, but that's the fun part. It's fun to be involved in so many things and see how they turn out from a pricing standpoint.
Yeah, so talk to us now about PC Construction. Yep. How's it? What's your role, and how is it what kind of revenue do they do? What sort of projects?
Sure. Yep. Yeah, so I'm a director of pre-construction with PC. Our structure, so I oversee the building side, our vertical construction arm. PC we do buildings construction, and we do water and wastewater construction. So we have another director of pre-construction that handles the water and wastewater side. But yeah, we're split roughly right down the middle. We do about $500 million in revenue a year. We have about 500 employee owners. We're 100% employee owned. We've been in business now for 65 years. So yeah, just really good things. We have 8 regional offices up and down the East Coast. So we're headquartered out of South Burlington, Vermont. And then we have offices in New Hampshire, Maine, the Hudson Valley, and Poughkeepsie. And then we have the Mid-Atlantic. We have an office in North Carolina, Atlanta, and then Florida.
Lovely. Exciting times.
It is. I mean, it's busy. It's super busy right now.
And what about markets? What do you kind of concentrate on the building side?
Yeah, so on the building side, we do everything from hospitality work with resorts, healthcare, a lot of work for universities. We do multifamily construction projects. So really the whole gamut of vertical construction work.
Brilliant, yeah. Good markets, some good markets there. I mean, those like you've mentioned 3 or 4 of the real hot markets now as well. And then talk to us about biggest lessons. I always do question time at the end of a podcast. So give me an idea of your biggest project and the biggest lesson that you've learned within construction, either on operations side or on the pre-con side.
Right. So on the pre-con side, it's really about doing a rock solid kickoff meeting. Understand the owner's goals. What do they want to achieve out of this project? Their program, their purpose for the project, and then everything from there goes back to that foundation of, hey, we need to hit on these marks so that we can deliver a great project. If we're working our way up to a GMP, everything goes back to how are we going to execute and do this well.
Brilliant, love it. What about building methods? Do you do a lot of GMP, CM at risk, design build?
So we do, it's about 50-50 between competitive bid work and then CM work, CM at risk or design build.
Brilliant.
Yep, and so it's a great process. We love getting involved early, doing those schematic design estimates and working our way up to a GMP.
Yeah, we're hearing a lot of that this week. To be honest with you, the conference yesterday, there was workshops, there was a lot of technology companies, but I have to say, everybody is talking about getting in early, bringing trade partners on early, and specifically design build. It's becoming very, very, very popular. Are you seeing that?
Yeah, and especially with the market craziness that we're seeing, the prices going up and down for different commodities. We found a lot of success in bringing design assist partners on early. For MEP, bringing a mechanical guy or a plumber or an electrician on early to help guide that process, and it really help. It builds that foundation and that confidence from the ownership that, hey, this thing's going to come in at budget, and we're, it's going to be a great project.
Love it, love it, love the energy. Yeah. Must be something in South Burlington, the energy from the REARC guys and yourself.
That's right. Yeah. It's great for a small state. We represent, right?
All up and down the East Coast. Well, listen, if there's anybody listening now and they've got a question or something you touched on, what's the best way to get in touch?
Yeah, you could get in touch. I'll give you my contact info after this, and send me an email, and that'd be awesome.
There you are, folks. You need to chat to Kurt. Great guy, always open. It's the Burlington way. I'll put his details down in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you.